everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a tool I use to speed up my drawing process. It's common in a lot of digital art software like Photoshop or Procreate or Clip Studio or whatever you use. I specifically use GIMP, and that tool I'm going to be talking about today is called the Copy tool. So the Copy tool is pretty intuitive to use. On a lot of these programs, you have what is called layers. So if you look in the upper left-hand corner of my screen, I have a transparent layer, like layer 1, and then I have a background layer. So what the Copy tool does, as I draw this over here, I'm able to select whatever I drew on one layer and copy it or replicate it to another layer. And there's a lot of different ways to do this. So one way is to use the rectangle tool, where like I'm doing here, you just draw a rectangle around the item you want to copy. And then you can either do Ctrl V or go up to edit and hit paste like you would do in any other program. And that allows you to paste a new layer on top of the one you previously selected. So as you can see, I labeled it layer 2. And then I'm able to drag the item that's now on the new layer off to the side, and now you can see that there's now 2 of the same item that I originally drew. So as I've said previously, you have a lot of different tools you can use to select different objects in GIMP. You could use the circular select tool, so that's just the shape of a circle to select an object. You could also use what's called the lasso tool, where you're able to draw around the object as you want. Or you could use what's called the fuzzy select tool, which selects an object based on the color of the object. So after you've copied what you want to copy, you can then essentially put the item you copied back onto the same layer as the original item by right-clicking on the layer you want and then hitting merge. So what I just did, I just right-clicked on layer 2 and merged it with layer 1. So now both items are on the same layer. From this point on, it's just a matter of repeating the same process. So you could easily select the 2 ovals on this layer, copy and paste them onto a new layer, and all of a sudden now you have 4 ovals to work with. And again, like I just did before, you could merge these onto a single layer, and then if you want to replicate them one more time, you could literally do the same thing, and you'll have, instead of 4, you'll have 8. Now I'll show you how I use this in a few of my recent drawings. So here's a drawing I did of Rihanna a while ago, and I remember getting to the end and I didn't really know what to do with the background of the picture. I knew I wanted something that would stand out or something that had some color to it, but it took me a while to figure out what to actually do. That's when I decided to just draw this kind of long rectangle, and I started to copy it many different times in the background, basically around Rihanna's face, and the background is just a bunch of the same rectangle copied multiple times and rotated with different transparencies. So if you look on the left, you can actually see the individual layers for each rectangle. So as you can see, I could turn them off and you could kind of see them get peeled back one by one. This ended up being a really nice way to kind of frame around Rihanna's face. I was really pleased with what it did for the picture. So next I want to talk about the drawing I did of Mac Miller. You know, may he rest in peace. Similar situation with Rihanna. I got to the end and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the background. I eventually came up with the idea of make it something that kind of matched with his hat. So as you can see right there, all I did was I took a few images of roses, and I was able to replicate them enough times to create a flowery pattern in the background, which I thought came out pretty well. And again, it was kind of quick and easy to make, which is just an advantage of using these programs if you're doing artwork in them. One other way to use the copy tool is to use it to replicate anything in your picture that is also being replicated naturally. So here, as you can see, I'm using it to copy the lines that I'm using to outline the cinder blocks in the wall and the background. So after I copied the vertical lines and horizontal lines, all I really have to do now is remove the lines in this staggered pattern, and that really quickly helped me create the pattern of the blocks of the wall. Once I finished the wall, I also started copying the leaves on the trees, on some of the trees that I have in the picture. Again, this was just so I completed the process faster. Create only a few leaves and then replicate them. I could rotate them in different ways or mirror them in different ways. So it kind of creates the illusion that the tree is filled with different leaves that were drawn, when in reality I only drew 6 or 7 small groups of leaves. Then I repeated them so many times, I eventually created a full tree. And then I decided to do the same with the flowers on the tree, the red flowers, just again to kind of streamline the drawing process at certain points. So this turned out to be a really nice way to show how certain objects that naturally have repetition in them could be replicated within your drawing. And that's all I have for now. I hope this was of some use to you, and thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll be able to use this in some way in whatever you're trying to create. If you like this video, please feel free to hit the like button. And if you want to see more of this content, please feel free to subscribe. Thanks everybody. Bye.